Let's start with the istiada. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Welcome to my class. This class, my name is Dr. Miral Azam Khalil. I've been an investor for the past 21 years, and I teach this investing class so that there is a movement within Muslim families and within Muslim women to take control of their finances and to see how important it is. I'm going to give you today's class is really important because I want you to see how finances and you and me are playing part in the conflict of Gaza, the genocide in of the Palestinians. We have a part in it. And all through this class, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I can address them later on. Um, Disclaimer, all information is for educational purposes only. No client relationship is assumed and no tax advice is given. Um, so the war benefits the military-industrial complex. Before we go into it, I just want to understand if Aisha, Farida, Huda, if any one of you knows what is the military-industrial complex, if you know which companies are defense contractors. If not, I can list them in the chat so that because if you do know what this is, we can just skip this slide altogether. So if you would, okay, Farida doesn't know. Aisha and Huda, if you guys can please participate, that will help me so that I'm not talking about things that you guys already know. So Farida, simply, these are companies which are manufacturing bombs and missiles. These are the defense contractors, and I'm going to speak for the US government. They are defense contractors for the United States government. The companies are, um, let me share my screen. Okay, no problem, Aisha. See you. Okay, so, okay, Jazakallah khair, see you. So basically, Northrop Grumman, let me share my screen. And so basically, our state representatives are which member of the Congress benefits from defense stocks. Let's go here. Okay. Are you guys able to, let me see if I can remove this and then, where are you guys? I don't know where it is. Okay. So basically, if you guys can see my screen, I'm sharing my screen right now. These are, so the Congress members are actually making money, and because they have a part um, in these companies, they have their stocks, they have money invested in these companies. Lockheed Martin is one of them. The other one is Northrop Grumman, Boeing, General Dynamics, and Raytheon. Farida, can you see my screen? So these companies are defense contractors, and we have our members of our Congress who participate in these. So I want to show you again now that 2 weeks ago, defense stocks went up with the Hamas conflict. Let's see. Right off the bat, the aerospace defense sector jumped 4.6% on October 9th. 67 stock group rose just over 2%. So, if you look through this data, you are going to see that every time there's a conflict, there's like a huge, you can Google it. I just wanted to show this to you. Every time there's a conflict, please do not think that there is a reason why our government does not stop these conflicts, and that's because they make money off it. I hope my point is clear. um Assalamualaikum Nasreen, we're discussing the military industrial complex and how it affects the economy and how is it affecting the current situation. So this is the reason why we don't have gun control. These companies are, it's really simple. When there's a conflict, the defense stocks go up. And so if you have an investment in them, you become richer. And the Congress has investments in them. So it is beneficial to them, um, to keep this, to keep feeding the military industrial complex. So they will keep these wars going if there is no regulation as to if a sitting member of the Congress can or cannot invest in these defense stocks. Um, does it make sense? It's literally simple. They have, they have money to make. So ethical investing just versus just halal investing. A couple of weeks ago, a lot of you asked for me to look into Amana funds, and I wanted to make a point here. There's a difference between ethical investing and just halal investing, Sharia compliant investing. So in all honesty, a lot of Amana funds or a lot of Sharia compliant funds are technology companies. That includes Amazon, that includes Tesla. But I want to show you another example of how you cannot just get away with this is a Sharia compliant company. If you are a Muslim, you need to you need to research your stocks. I'm going to show you what is happening in Congo because the world is hyper focused on Palestine. We being Muslims are hyper focused on Palestine. But let me show you again, share my screen with you and show you what is happening in Congo. Why does it matter? Because all of you, me, everybody who's using a cellular device, which is a cell phone, has part in this bloodshed, and it's not pretty. So let me share my screen again and show you this horrific image. So how modern day slavery in the Congo powers the rechargeable battery economy. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this so that you guys can go ahead and read this. Please don't be distracted during the class. But this is for your information. So I'm not just making this up. When I say that we have part in this conflict in Congo, it's a big deal. Congo has a lot of natural resources, and so it's in the interest of you know outside powers to have the country in turmoil so that they can continue to manipulate, terrorize the local population. And so we get our devices, all kinds of devices use cobalt. And I don't know if you're familiar with there was a Leonardo DiCaprio movie called Blood Diamond. Has anybody seen it? I don't know who's here. Huda, Fatma, and Farida. Have you guys seen that movie? It's called Blood Diamond. It came out a couple of years ago. And so Fatma, you know what I'm talking about, right? um, Labor is manipulated, so you need to be exactly. So it's not as simple as you think. um, Amazon has been on a watch list for human right abuses. Tesla has been on a rights for being against unions, because what do unions do? They allow everyday workers, they allow daily wage workers, they allow simply workers to unionize and ask for better conditions. And if a corporation is against it, obviously they don't want them to unionize. They don't want to give them more money because we are living in a capitalistic society. So there's a lot of greed, and this is one of the cons of capitalism. I'm speaking today from a finance perspective so you understand that everything going around in the world Unfortunately, we have a part to play in that. Okay. So just halal investing, Sharia compliant investing doesn't cut it. Now, I want to mention this so that I don't scare you guys off. I have been investing since I was 15. My father was a journalist and he was a political commentator. So I did not want to learn anything about politics. I hated politics because it was on the news all the time. My dad was discussing that all the time. But unfortunately, um, or fortunately, because of my because I was in an environment of politics, and then I was interested in investing on my own because my mother was an investor. The it's kind of, you know, it's kind of it's a bond that you can't sever. You know, I tried to keep out of politics for so long because I hated it. But you know, after 21 years of investing, unfortunately the reality is that everything that is political is driven by money. So they are like literally hand in hand. So I'm bringing this to your attention so that anybody who tries to claim that we just need to be have a Sharia compliant investment is unfortunately either a new investor or they're trying to be simplistic. So these are just points for you guys to chew on and understand that um, after you've been an investor for long enough, you do understand that there has to be a moral boundary because they're always muddled, you know, together. So money trail, you have to look at how the company is making money and who is it profiting. So to me, it matters how a company is treating its employees, how does it pay its employees, and how does it affect the environment. Obviously, company culture, living wages. I have been a proponent of living wages when $15 an hour was not even popular. And how does it affect the environment? Of course, the ecosystem is a balance. I'm also a physician. You cannot disrupt that balance because ultimately it affects us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this earth in a very um, delicate balance, and if you disrupt it too much, it will be harmful to us. So all of these things matter to me, and this requires a lot of research, which I am happy to do because I love to invest, and I also am not scared of what I will lose, because that's a false sense of scarcity that people have developed, that corporations have developed around people, that if you don't invest in this, you're going to miss out on this. There's a false sense of missing out. Warren Buffett has been able to be extremely wealthy because he is, number one, a veteran investor, and number two, he is not swayed by FOMO. And so I promise you, there's nothing you're going to miss out. There's also always going to be an opportunity to invest in something that is ethical and Sharia compliant at the same time. So do not believe in people who say that it's not possible. It is, and I have done it, so I know it is. So the concept of barakah, it's really important as a Muslim investor that if you truly believe, and this is where everybody's tested, including me, where we have to remind ourselves that risk is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and um, you have to make a moral decision to walk away from money. So every time the, you know, the Amazon is absolutely 100% involved in the surveillance of Palestinians. I wrote a picture book, and you know, I published it on Amazon. One of the authors called me out and told me that Amazon surveils or provides technology for surveillance of Palestinians. Now, it's so difficult for a new first time author to pull your book from Amazon because it has a huge reach. This conflict came about and the decision was clear. It was so difficult for me for the first few weeks before the conflict began, and then the litmus test came and I pulled my book, you know, probably losing thousands of consumers because of the database of Amazon. But then it's coming at a human cost. If am I making sense? Does it make sense to you? So sometimes you have to take scary steps. um it's scary for somebody who is an independent author, but this is the you cannot pay um you cannot compromise on your morals. You cannot have a human cost to your investment. And so when I did not know the concept of farmland investing, I did not know you can invest in startups and other things, even rent to own. All of these, out of the box investing ideas that I tell you people about came from me rejecting the traditional investing. So, what is traditional investing? Investing in a savings account. Apparently, it's the safest method, right? Your money grows risk free, but it is against Islamic principle. You cannot have an interest bearing account. um, and that's what where most Americans who are not Muslims or might be Muslims are put their money in a savings account, because it's secure. It's apparently secure. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us that it's against, we shouldn't be doing it. I promise you, his wisdom should is it's beyond what we can see. The second thing that I came about was farmland investing. I was so desperate because I there were so many obstacles investing in the stock market. I couldn't invest in bonds. I couldn't do option trading. Option trading is actually betting. You can't do option trading. You cannot do a savings account. You cannot invest in treasury bonds. You cannot even invest in, the 529s that are provided by the government, because they are the securities that you invest in when you open a 529 for your child have built-in bonds in them. So because they are state provided and they had need to have a balance, bonds are supposedly less volatile than stocks. So when the government's 529 is a government account, it's a college fund account, and when you are investing in it, bonds, you cannot get rid of not investing in bonds. And so if you keep your morals, you have to be resourceful, you have to be creative. And that's where I got the idea that I can go farmland investing. I can invest in farmland, and then I have to be careful that I cannot invest, or you cannot invest in a vineyard, obviously, that is producing alcohol. But you can invest in other crops. You can invest in cotton, you can invest in corn, you can invest in timber. Do you know timber is a farmland? All of these ideas came from me getting uncomfortable and deciding that I'm not going to do anything that is going to make me question myself, but there has to be another way. And when you look for other ways, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to provide you with other ways. Why am I saying all of this? Because people might scare you into believing if you don't invest in this and this, you're ruined. If you should jump on each and every trend. But no, you should not. Learn from Warren Buffett. I think a majority of his stock is in Coca-Cola, a majority of his stock, and he is um, the titan of investing. I'm not asking you to invest in Coca-Cola, but I'm just giving you a point of view. A majority of his stock is in Coca-Cola. He has been investing since he was 10. He is 90 plus years old. All the trends, everything came and went, and he stuck to his guns. And so I'm just telling you, if you stick to your guns, you will find a way, and Allah will put barakah in that money. So 401ks as well. Yes, Fatma, if your 401k is provided by your employer, you're going to have fixed securities to invest into. But if you are self-employed, you can open a 401k and you can bypass employer provided options to you. Does it make sense, Fatma? And then also, I believe you can talk to your employers and tell them that they can make an exception for you. I have done this, and I've seen people doing this in the hospitals with their 403bs. Does it make sense? You can always talk to the HR, you can always talk to the person in charge and see if they can make an exception and add more Sharia compliant funds to the 401ks. I've seen people doing it. There's no harm in asking. Does that answer the question? Yes, please talk to people. I am 90% of the times people can accommodate you. We ourselves scare into believing that, we are being a pain in the ass. No, we are not. You ask people, be reasonable, and people will reply to you. Okay, so we have a masterclass coming up in 13 days. If you haven't yet joined, it's $47. You work with me and get out of 2023 with a financial plan. Regardless of what you do, I encourage you to join this class because um, in any type of investing, I don't care if you're investing $1 or $100,000, you need a financial plan. Also, I was speaking to one of my clients, and let me tell you what I told her. I told her that, do you know, we are already aware that our tax money is funding the bombs in Gaza, right? So why are you paying so much in taxes? That's my question to you. Why don't you want your income to be, you want your income to be saved from income taxes? And I'm not saying that you should skip around the IRS. I'm asking you to do it in a legal way. You guys can put money in, retirement accounts, and it, literally decreases your taxable income. We are going to discuss all of this and more in that masterclass. It is the best $47, in my opinion, that you are going to spend this year. And I gave you a perspective of how your money is being used to serve everybody else in the planet except for you, because you don't have a financial plan. You don't know how to invest in a tax efficient way, and everybody is making beginner mistakes which costs you a lot of money and is going to end up with you're going to end up with a tax bill. I am going to share the class, and I would like to end with you guys asking me any questions, any concerns. I've shared the masterclass. Please look through it. And if you guys have any questions and concerns, please, I am open to questions. It's going to be on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in November. So I think it's 10th, 11th, 12th. It's going to be an hour, and you're going to walk away with a financial plan. I'm going to be with you, walking you step by step. People who have registered are going to get PDF document that they are going to fill with me while I am live. And you have 3 chances to come. You can come on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All these days are included for the price of $47. And so you can literally master your plan. You have 3 times to come, 3 days, literally 3 hours of my time to brainstorm. I don't know who else is here. Yasmin, Assalamu alaikum, and Ikra. Where can we access? Farida, the masterclass is going to be recorded, but it's going to be sent to people who register for the masterclass. It's going to be recorded for paying participants, and I will send them all the recordings. And for this, I have, let me see, you guys, so all the replays for the master classes, for the Sunday classes are on. Would the 3 days teach the same thing? No, Fatma, they're going to teach the same thing. So you can literally master. It's going to be a PDF document. I'm going to walk with you through all the questions every single day. So if you think that there is confusion and in your financial plan, you can come on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can email me or attend any of those sessions. So we're going to master one thing. We need a financial plan. It's extremely important. I think it's extremely important to have a financial plan, because this is exactly where people make the money mistakes. End up with thousands of dollars in bills and penalties because they don't know what they're doing. They're investing in accounts they are not even eligible for. I had a client who came to me. She makes over the threshold of what you can make to invest in a retirement account, and you are penalized for that. So we are going to do it in a tax efficient manner. Farida, to answer your question, all of the recordings for the classes are on YouTube. Let me put my YouTube in the chat. Give me just a second, excuse me. Um, okay, this is my YouTube. Everyone, you guys can access the recordings on here. I think it's private, probably. It's for you. It's for people on my email list, so you should be able to. Um, you should be able to look into it, Farida. Okay, Huda, Ikra, Nasreen, Yasmin, Fatma, Farida. Do you guys have any questions about the masterclass? Um, do you have any other questions that I can answer? Also, people, I am on Instagram. I share what I am investing. I share investing news on Instagram. I have not been, it's at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Yes, Ikra, it's for beginners. This is exactly why I was telling you that the PDF document literally spells out everything. You're going to put yes, no. It's going to be very simple. It's simple and actionable, Ikra. It has to be simple and actionable. There are a few people who emailed me and said we are already investing, but we don't know what we are doing. This class is for them too. People begin investing, they don't have any idea of where they're going. We need to know the destination, right? So this is like a roadmap. It's like a GPS. It gives you the direction step by step. It's going to tell you this is where you're going to invest first, this is where you're going to invest second, this is where you're going to invest third. At the end of it, when you answer all these questions, you're literally going to be filling in a pyramid in which we are going to put this is where you are going to invest first. So Ikra's financial plan is going to be different from Nasreen's financial plan. Does it make sense? Because everybody is individually answering those questions, and they're answering them for themselves. So we're not going to be displaying your answers. You're going to be, going to be a fillable PDF form. You don't even need to print it. You just need to come in class, literally show up for class, bring a drink that you love or a snack that you love, and we will breeze through it. I want it to be as simple as possible so that people can take action. I don't want a master class. Fatma, what retirement plan? So there are the IRA. The IRAs are just retirement accounts. So a retirement, so here's the thing. Like I told you, if you have an individual retirement account, you can literally, and if you want to invest for a long time, you can literally invest in any Sharia compliant investment and let it be. I am more of a day trader as well. So the earning season is around, and you can make money around earnings if you know what you're doing. A lot of people who will work with me consistently do that because they don't want to go through the headache of researching everything. And I tell them that this is what I'm doing and give them an option that if you want to do this, you can do this. So retirement is, do you want an early retirement or do you want a later retirement? It both these things matter. And for so the best thing is to buy index funds and let them be, but you also need to diversify because uh, putting your eggs in one basket is not the way to go. So for me, for people who are working with me, for example, the prime example being my husband, who is also one of my clients, he has a diversified portfolio. He does not trade like I do. I trade because I like to travel. So if I want to travel, I am going to I have a chunk of money that I can trade with. For example, I showed people how the Netflix stock went up. So there's like so many caveats to what your question, Fatma. Do you see what I mean? um I want to retire early. I think I am semi retired, honestly. um I have the flexibility to do whatever the hell I want, and in addition to that, I have money if I get sick. And that is what I will say. So it really, really depends. So it can be Sharia compliant if you're just investing in Sharia compliant index funds, farmland, gold, rental property. There's so many ways. Does it make sense? So IRAs do not need to be bonds. You don't need to invest in bonds or anything. You can open an individual IRA and invest in anything you want. That is Sharia compliant. Okay, perfect. So Fatma, Farida, Huda, Nasreen, guys, if you have any questions, again, please let's follow each other on Muslim Women Invest. I am not active because of the Palestinian issue. But when I do share information on that account, which I used to before this conflict broke out, and inshallah, hopefully, when this resolves, I will um, be back on my regular messaging. It's a very useful platform for you guys to see how money and investing works. It's you're already scrolling on social media. Why not also scroll something that is beneficial to you, that you learn something from? Why can't we do that? And it's easy for me to answer you guys there. It's real time as well. So every day I wake up, I read an economical or financial article, and then I'm posting important things on there. The example that I gave from the stocks, the defense stocks that went up, I shared this with my with people on Instagram 2 weeks ago. It broke my heart, and I told them as a disclaimer that I do not invest in the defense stocks because I know the kind of, what do you think missiles do? What do you think bombs do? They're obviously made to kill people, and you can profit from them. I knew that the stock is going to go up, and it's between me and my Allah that I would just put my money in it, profit from it, and then exit. But I mean, look at the human cost. So it's on Instagram. Let me see. I am Muslim Woman Invest Instagram. I am not my usual self because of everything that is happening. Um, so just have grace with me. I work in peds, guys, so I am particularly triggered by what is happening. It's outrageous that the medical community is silent. I'm just going to say that, and I have been saying that. Anyway, if we do not have any more questions, um, I will see you inshallah later. You guys can email me at hello@investforlifemk.com. I hope to see you guys. Please understand that money and politics go hand in hand. That's my lesson. That is my advice to you today. So don't take it, you have to take it seriously. You have to take part in the economy because it matters. Look at what is happening. We have a hand in it because we haven't been boycotting corporations that have been funding. Every time a conflict erupts, we boycott them temporarily. Then it fades away from our memory and everything is all good. But they have been in an occupation for the past 75 years. If we would have put a pressure on them, and economic pressure, because money is where it hurts people, this would not be the case. And the power lies with the masses. Always remember that. Okay, I love you guys. Please stay safe. And if there's no many more questions, assalamu alaikum, guys. See you next time.